Hi guys, it's Andy from Man City Fan TV. Just a quick update on Jorginho. Well, it seems now that Napoli have confirmed the signing of Fabian Ruiz from Real Betis for £26 million. It wouldn't surprise me that they were waiting to make sure this was signed, sealed and delivered before letting Jorginho move to Manchester City. They're about to go on pre-season tour shortly with Carlo Ancelotti, and obviously Jorginho has not been named in the 23-man squad for that particular tour. So another sign that it's very close. I believe Jorginho's agent said he's waiting by the phone, and it will be done literally in a matter of hours or days. So fingers crossed it'll all be done. Rumoured to be £43 million with add-ons, so an absolute bargain. So anyway guys, I'll leave the rest to Ray with some other further latest transfer news updates.
News came out overnight from respected Wolves reporter Tim Nash that Wolves wanted to buy Alex Zinchenko for an initial £12 million, rising to £16 million with add-ons and bonuses. Now that would represent a significant profit for City, who paid about £1.7 million for him a couple of years ago. Last year Zinchenko looked like he was never going to play for the first team, or maybe a few cup games, but he actually got lucky. The injury to Bernard Mendy meant that Fabian Delph took over the left back slot, and when he got injured, Zinchenko moved into that spot himself. He played about 8 to 10 games for City in that position, and actually did very well overall, especially for a young kid who was playing out of position, because you've got to remember he's a wide or an attacking midfielder. He fitted into the City system quite well, had a decent first touch, he kept things generally quite safe with his passing, and I think, as I said, he did quite well for the games he played. But as soon as Delph came back from injury, he slotted back into the team, and Mendy came back at the end of the season, and there's absolutely no way that Zinchenko was going to get another game. So quite honestly, I think his time is done at City. If he wants to play left back, he's got Bernard Mendy and Fabian Delph in front of him, so realistically there's very little chance of him getting to play at left back again unless both of them get injured. And we've got so much attacking midfield talent in David Silva, Bernardo Silva, Kevin De Bruyne, Mahrez if he joins to play out wide, Sane out wide, Sterling wide as well. We've just got too many players, and even with 1 or 2 injuries, I can't see Zinchenko getting a game. So moving to Wolves would actually be, in my opinion, a very good option for him. He stays in the Premier League, he stays in that shop window. Wolves look like they've got a lot of money behind them to help build a strong squad for the Premier League challenge ahead of them this season. So now I think it's up to Zinchenko to decide if he wants to go and play for Wolves. There's also apparently interest from another Premier League club, so I think he's got options too. And at the end of the day, I think it's in his best interest to go out and play football. What's interesting for me on a financial side of things is to see the difference it makes to actually play several games in the Premier League for City in a title-winning squad. Now we've had other kids out on loan. We've had Pablo Maffeo playing in La Liga for Girona, and we've had Angelino playing for NEC Breda in Holland. I think both of them had fabulous seasons, especially Angelino, who made the Eredivisie Team of the Season. But we saw both of those kids for about £4 or £5 million each, which is way short of what we're selling Zinchenko for. I feel if they'd played for Manchester City the way Zinchenko had played this season, they may have been sold for about £12 to £50 million too. It is very interesting to see what difference playing in the Premier League makes to a player's value. Riyad Mahrez, well, we're still waiting for that one to conclude. But I just want to kind of step outside the bubble of what's been going on with all this transfer talk, all this imminent arrival, and he's going to sign this week, he's going to sign this week, next week. Just want to step back and just look at Riyad Mahrez as an individual. I did a little bit of research on Riyad Mahrez, and apparently he's a devout Muslim. He went on an Umrah pilgrimage to Mecca not too long ago. So I personally felt it was very unlikely that Riyad Mahrez would sign during the holy month of Ramadan, which was in May and June, followed by Eid festival, which I expected him to spend back at home either in France or Algeria with his family. I expected him to sign sometime between Eid and Algerian Independence Day, which was yesterday. That's about 3 weeks. I thought in those 3 weeks we'd actually get the deal over the line. but that hasn't happened yet, and we're all waiting for the imminent news that he's signed. What's most important here, in my opinion, is that he signs before pre-season training starts, and he goes on the tour to the United States and plays in 2 or 3 of those friendly games over there, so he can just start to get into the system, into Pep's system, and Pep can get some training into him, and he can just get around the other lads. So as always with the Riyad Mahrez deal, I feel when it's going to happen, it'll happen. I'm not overly worried about it. As I said, the most important thing for me is that he signs before pre-season starts. Also overnight, it's been reported that Southampton are interested in buying Zinchenko Denayer for about £3 million. Now Zinchenko Denayer, if you remember, is a Belgian centre-back who's been out on loan for the last 4 seasons, I think. He was up at Celtic playing with Van Dijk and looked quite good there. He went out on loan to, I think, Galatasaray for a season, came back, went on a disastrous loan, I think, to Sunderland, where they were poor, a really poor team. It really didn't suit him. Then he went out last year to Galatasaray again, where he won the Turkish title with them, and they seem to love him. He really likes being there. I thought he'd move permanently to Galatasaray, but maybe he'll change his mind if Southampton are in for him. He might think about coming back to England, playing for Southampton for a season or 2, try and raise his stock once again, so he might use Southampton as a stepping stone to something bigger and better.